cruising yacht, it's more like this, or for us it's even something like this maybe, because we can be 60 degrees off the wind, we have 9 knots, right? When you come to 55 degrees, it's only 7 knots. You come to 50 degrees off the wind with this boat, and you're already down to 5 knots. So here it's a gray area a little bit. It's a compromise between angle and speed. But let's say, okay, so this is the no sail area, okay? So what do we call this point of sail here? If we're sailing here, it's called what?
Close hold.
Close hold. Yeah. So close hold is when you are as close to the wind as you can possibly be. Then on close hold, what do we do with the sails? So the sails, the head sail is pretty flat, and the main sail is also, let's say, the boom is pointing to the end of the boat, to this corner, the downwind corner of the boat, right? If you put the boom in too much, you're just slowing the boat down, yeah, and you increase the heel. Okay, so this is close hold. Now, what do we call this maneuver if we turn away from the wind? This is called
Bearing away.
bearing away. Okay, so here we bear away, and we eventually get to this point. What do we call this point of sail?
Beam reach.
It's a beam reach, yeah? How is the sail during a beam reach?
Pretty much straight on.
A little bit further out, right? The more we turn away from the wind, so the sail is just outside,
Yeah.
and here it also has a bit of a belly. So we have to ease the sheets, yeah? We bear away, we ease the sheets. So anything in between, so that this point is the beam reach. Okay, so let's say the close hold is about 55 degrees of the wind, of the apparent wind, and the beam reach is 90 degrees of the wind. Okay, so anything in between is called a what? So if there's a boat somewhere in the middle, so let's say, so anything between this and this is called a close reach.
Yeah.
So 60 degrees off the wind, 70, 80, 85, all of that is close reach. So sails are a little bit out, but not too much. Okay? Then we get to this area. So what's this? So here the sail is as far out as it can possibly get, and this is called a
Broad reach.
okay. So that's a broad reach. What is a typical angle for broad reach? What is the end of this? Because at a moment will come when your head sail will get in the lee of the mainsail, so the head sail will collapse. So that's the end of your broad reach. But technically, the broad reach, all the way from the beam reach to a dead run, all of this 90 degrees is a broad reach. But with a Bermuda rig, 2 sails in one line, you cannot really have both sails on the same side if you are more than 145 degrees, something like this. So you can do this arrangement until you are 145-ish, 140, 145, depending on the size of the main. Okay? So in this area, you have to do something else. So you could have in this area, so it's that So this is a dead run. So here you have a few options. Option number one, you could have the boom out on this side, yeah, and only the boom, or you could have it on this side. Yeah, it doesn't matter because the wind is coming from here.
Yeah.
But then you cannot have the head sail on the same side because it will be fluttering. Yeah, so here it doesn't work. So you could do this. Have you tried this? Goose winging?
Yeah.
Actually, to do this, you have to have the boom on this side, but you have to turn the boat a little bit this way, so you have the boom on the same side as the wind. Yeah, because the head sail needs to be filled. Okay?
Okay.
So this is not very efficient. So these boats, Bermuda rigs, are not very good dead downwind. Square riggers are great. You know, the old square rigger ships.
Oh, right, yeah.
They were designed to be going down with the trade winds. But these boats are not great. So you also have another option. Forget about the main. If you have a big swell, it's much less hassle. So boom is pinned in the middle, and you only use the head sail.
Okay.
And with the head sail, you can be 180 degrees, 170 degrees. It's much more stable. Right?
So what do you call this angle?
A run.
Dead run. Dead run.
Dead run. Yeah.
Dead run.
Dead run, as in dead downwind, directly going downwind, the wind behind you. But again, these boats are not doing great. So a variation on this is to put a spinnaker pole. Yeah. If you put a spinnaker pole here, attach it to the front, attach it here, and it also has a halyard, so the pole is fixed outside, and you just put the head sail out. So this is the typical arrangement to do Atlantic crossings, for example. Yeah, a lot of people only use the head sail because the wind is almost all the way behind you. Maybe if it changes a little bit, it has more north aspect, then you can use both sails. But again, out in the ocean conditions, the boat turns, the boom is messy, could be dangerous. So going downwind, probably the best is spinnaker pole with head sail. Okay. Now one more thing. So this was bear away. Then what do we call? So let's say we have another broad reach boat here. And what do we call this? When you put the bow closer to the wind. What is this? What's the word?
Maneuver.
It's a maneuver.
Sag. No, it's moving past. Oh, head up.
Head up.
Head up.
Yeah, when you turn closer to the wind, it's head up. I've already said this a few times. When you were on the helm, bear away a little bit, head up a little bit. So each time you turn the bow closer to the wind, whether if you come from broad reach to beam reach, that's heading up. From beam reach to close reach, head up. You turn away from beam to broad, that's a bear away. Okay? What do we call this maneuver? That's our tack. And if you go from this broad reach to the other broad reach, that's a jibe. So here you have the full 360 degrees. So you can see that it's very easy to do. It's good practice to start from a close reach, and you can start and you can do all points of sails and practice the sail trimmings. So from close reach you bear away to broad reach. You bear away, and remember you have to ease the sheets. Yeah, from here, you see, the sheets have to be let out to be in a broad reach, right? And from here you bear away a little bit more. You center the boom, let it out on the other side. That was the jibe. And from after the jibe, you just have to head up to the close hole on the other side, so you have to pull the sheets in, right, to keep the boat in trim, and then you do a tack. I would like to practice this today, this afternoon, as we put up the sail.